I think late 20s, early 30s is like the normal change up in attire.
Yeah. Like at a certain point, I'm gonna have to stop wearing Chucks, right? Like I can't just keep wearing Chucks
I don't
until I'm
think
like
so.
40.
I mean, I think you can get away with it because like Chucks are cool again.
Yeah.
Chucks are cool again, or you can get fancy ass fucking like designer Chucks. And be like, oh no, these aren't Chucks.
Charles's.
These are Alexander McQueen high top black patent leather flat
Leather
bottoms.
Chucks, dude. That would be something the fuck else.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
You're like, no, these are actually Gore-Tex Chucks.
And I chain them to
climb
my
a
feet so I don't
mountain.
lose them.
I can climb a mountain in these things.
These are snow Chucks. Great traction, dude.
This is the Elton John X Nike Chucks. They have a gay swoosh on the side of it.
Gay swoosh.
It's a
Gay.
swoosh, but it's like, you know.
It limps at the end.
The tip of the swoosh.
It's like, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, no,
man.
it came out last Pride Month. I had to wait in line for like 60 hours.
Right now is Pride Month, isn't it?
It
Pride
is.
Month.
Pride Month.
Pride Month. So are they going to do the Pride Parade?
Yeah, dude. Can you imagine what's going to happen when the BLM protest meets up with the Pride Parade?
That's going to be saucy.
I mean, I
That's
don't
gonna be
think anything's going to happen. I think it's like kind of the same people.
Yeah, I would say so. There's probably a lot of people. I've never been to a Pride Parade in my life, though. I would like to go.
Yeah, me neither.
Just see what it's like. But I would imagine, when is it supposed to be? Like, when is it usually? Like mid-June?
Yeah, probably. I'd assume so. But also like because of coronavirus, I feel like people are going to be hating on Pride more than they're hating on the protesters because they're like, I don't want you guys going down and have a big old orgy parade up and down Gay Street.
Gay Street?
Go up the Gay Street 83 ramp and then block oncoming traffic, gaping your assholes.
In Baltimore City, does it start on Gay Street? Because that would be so awesome.
I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like it's more up in like Station North, like Charles Village and that kind of Mount Vernon.
Major missed opportunity. If I was organizing the Pride Parade, it would start end on Gay Street.
I probably already got the permits for the harbor.
Well, see, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to tell the Pride Parade that they can't do it after we've had basically, not to call the protest a parade, but that amount of people out in the streets for like weeks on end. It's going to be very difficult to go back and be like, oh, but actually you guys can't do that. That was just a one-off time thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be mad about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be, because I feel like the protests now are kind of like a call to action, whereas like Pride is more of like a celebratory thing. Mm-hmm. So like, I don't know if I really don't know.
Yeah.
Live from the studio.
I'm Jimmy Selesky.
I'm Eric Glazer, and we're week 18 into quarantine. I don't even fucking know.
Week 18.
Sounds
Dude,
about right, though.
It's fucking like cold tonight. Is it cold where you're at?
Yeah, it's been cooling off the last couple of days, which honestly is really nice.
I thought it was going to start raining because normally when it's like super hot and then it like gets cold all of a sudden it starts raining, but it's been like beautiful weather this whole time.
Yeah,
but
I mean, we had a bunch of rain earlier last week, so I feel like that might have been the start of the cool down. And then probably some sort of like Arctic blast or some other weather magic happened, and
the ice age.
cold front from New Zealand or some shit.
Oh yeah, man. Have you been I know you said you started your kind of like you went out to the protest a couple weeks ago, and so how far into you like re-quarantine yourself again, like a self quarantine? How far into that are you?
I'm kind of done now. Like I over the weekend, me and my brother finally got to go see our grandma at her nursing facility.
Yeah. You
So
told me
that
about
was like 10 or 12 days into my self quarantine, and then when we got there, they had to like read our temperature. So I didn't have a fever, so I just assumed I'm good.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's unfortunate that it had to happen in that circumstance, but
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But also, like, that was also the main reason why I wanted to quarantine myself. So I could actually go there, you know?
Exactly. That's a good point. Now that things are kind of starting to like loosen up a little bit, like I actually have like a gig this weekend, which is kind of bittersweet because it's
Is it a roof one?
no, it's not a roof one. Basically what it is, so I'm playing I don't want to say a name of the corporation because the story that follows is
It's okay.
yeah. But
Let's just say the Globe Group.
yeah, let's just say they carry the weight of the city on their shoulders.
Let's say the Encyclopedia Group.
Like not a map, but like the other thing that apparently isn't a map but is the same thing. Is that right? That's the thing, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, sure. And they are booking music on the weekends, but I had to do that. What I was talking about last week, I had to do that like conference call thing,
Yeah, the
that
training.
Zoom call thing.
The health and safety training or whatever.
Yeah, and like part of me, I get it, but I do really feel like it's at this point where it's like the bigger of a corporation you are, the more under scrutiny you are. And so like them being like the biggest, they are under so much, like they are under like the tightest watch right now. So now it's like,
Yeah, they're like walking on eggshells.
yeah, so they they like want to reopen, but they have to do it like in the most like woke way possible. And I'll be honest, dude, after doing that training course, I was really on the fence about whether or not I was even going to go for it. Because it's like, the way I know myself enough to know that like their restrictions are so tight. Like, first of all, everybody has to be outside, but the music has to be inside. So like I'm just playing to an empty room, like through speakers.
And then they just blast it outside.
Yeah. Which
Can you like play up against the glass?
look at him through
Just,
the glass?
like, have your hand up against the glass. Wait for someone to touch it.
Like-
Blow on it.
But like,
Please help.
help me, help me. There's, I don't know this song. Please help. But like, I'm worried because I know that like just from having been in school for as long as I was, the regular amount of time that people are in school plus 1 year of college, I know that like
Regular amount.
yeah, regular amount. I know
Both
that
of us
like
can.
sometimes I would forget my backpack to school, and now I have to somehow remember all these extra shits. Like, dude, it's hard enough for me to remember guitar picks for a gig, but now I got to bring like my mask, my pocket sanitizer, some gloves and stuff. And like,
Wow.
like we were all in this Zoom meeting.
Boot covers.
Yeah, dude, it was, and we got to get our temperature checked like before the gig and stuff. And I was just like, dude, I just know, and which requires you to like show up earlier.
So
and
you
I'm
don't
so
have to
used-
run there and get sweaty and raise your temperature.
like, dude, you're 108 right now. It's like, I promise I'm not sick. I'm just running very late.
I swear.
You're coughing profusely. You're short of breath. You're sweating. So I just know it's just not. And my whole thought was like, what's going to happen is that, and it's a good thing they're booking for the month of June and July right now, and they're only doing the weekend gigs, and they're trying to spread it because that's a place that normally does music 7 nights a week. So like they're trying to fit all their musicians in on a schedule. So everybody's only getting like 1 gig over the course of 2 months. Like everybody gets one basically. So I just know in my head that like all I have to do is not fuck up that one gig, which is this coming Saturday. So I'm like the first one to. That's the other thing, because just like in anything else in life, like as time goes on, you saw the same thing happen with like mask policies and shit like that, where like at first everybody was like super gung-ho about like we're gonna do everything by the book, and then every day things just kind of get a little bit more chill to the point where it's like I know that the guys that are gonna be playing there in July and stuff, they're not going to be as tight about it. Because again, I really do feel like a lot of this is simply just to avoid public criticism, you know? And so like, I wish I had a gig in like late July. So like, okay, if I forget to wear a mask between stepping off stage to the bathroom, then it's like, whatever. But instead I'm like the first round of dudes. And I'm just like, I'm going to fucking blow it. And then it's going to compromise my ability to get gigs later on.
But you don't have to wear a mask when you sing, right?
Honestly, I don't know, because like there was so much shit being said in that meeting, like because it was like you could tell because like they have like a bunch of fancier places too. So they have like classical musicians who play like violin and concert piano and like weird ass Baroque guitars and shit.
Yeah, and then you're just there in one of the Zoom windows, just woke up, still in your boxers, cracking a beer on live stream. So like, I don't know. I don't wear condoms. I'm probably not gonna wear a mask.
literally. Like, what's your policy on like if I like on my 45-minute break, like if I'm trying to hit on one of the hostesses, do I have to wear a mask for that?
Do I still have to stay inside or can I go outside to hit on your customers?
What's your phone number policy? Me giving them out to the crowd.
If I stay inside, can I use the PA system to hit on women at your restaurant?
And how am I supposed to know if they're hot if everyone's wearing masks, dude? These are modern problems, dude, that I'm not going to be used to. So like, but they're like the classical music guys are all in there and they're like very serious about it. Like they're like, should we be wearing gloves whilst we play piano? And I'm like, don't fucking ask that, dude, because they don't really even know what they're supposed to do. So they're literally going for any idea anybody's yelling. Like no matter how ridiculous the idea, they were like, should we bring giant glass guards to surround the stage while we play?
Yeah,
and the manager chick was like, honestly, like we thought about it and like we could certainly look into that. And I'm like, no, don't look into that. Don't look into that, dude.
Put a fucking all plexiglass phone booth outside and you just bake inside of it like a greenhouse while you play.
It's like, dude, I can't fucking do this. So I'm like, it's unfortunate because it's my first gig back and I just know it's just gonna be tough and I'm already getting to like the end of my wits with so much of the shit because I understand, like I was saying earlier, that it's the bigger the corporation, the more public scrutiny they're subjected to, and therefore they have to take these what ventures on nonsensical measures. Like last week we discussed with like THB and how they were doing like you can only order through the app, and then we were talking about like a supermarkets where like you have like the plastic screen on the cash thing, and it doesn't make any sense, but they do it anyway because it's just a good look for them, you know? So it's like they're at the epitome of that. We went to another place that I play in Towson, which is no longer the Green Turtle. We went there for a drink, and like I like that place. Everybody, that's like a staple hold of Towson. Actually, it turns out that they had to kind of change their name because there was another bar called the Backyard downtown behind Camden Yards. It's literally in the back of Camden Yards.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that's so funny.
how did you not look into that? So now it's like, so then
but
it was
also,
like,
because isn't there another Backyard that they opened up downtown?
Yeah, but they're the same owners.
I know. Oh, as the one at Camden Yards?
No. So the one I believe, so the owners of the Green Turtle Towson and Green Turtle Fells are the same owners.
Yeah.
Now
so now there's a Backyard downtown and a Backyard uptown.
Yes. Oh. And also they're not allowed to be called the Backyard. So now they had to change it to like Barley's Backyard because apparently that's like one of the owner's dog's names. So now it's like Barley's Backyard Uptown. It's like the longest name ever. They're just going to keep on adding words to it until they evade a lawsuit. The name's going to be like 14 words long.
Jesus Christ. What a shitty name, Barley's Backyard.
It's unfortunate.
Jesus.
I actually was discussing this with my friends that work there. I ran
it's
into
a bar. Don't we let people know it's a bar? Bar's not in the name.
They're just gonna have to keep out Barley's Backyard Uptown Pub and Grill and Sons Incorporated.
They're just going to keep adding on well-known other bars in Baltimore.
And they're going to keep on fucking it up.
Barley's Backyard, Uptown, the horse you rode in on.
Looney.
To the point of the still
here.
Can't believe it's not butter. Town Tavern.
LA Fitness Emporium. 7-Eleven,
Sons,
Rofo, Wawa, Exxon, Google Plus. It's like, dude, just come up with a different name, bro. Just come up with it's like, we can't use any of these names, but what about all
What
of
about my
them?
fucking dumb dog's name?
They're gonna like make an acronym of all the different names and be like,
Yeah.
make a new name out of it, and it's still gonna be
And it's just gonna be like the abbreviation for some weird porn.
BDSM.
Big, beautiful, underage. That's it, dude. Barley's backyard. Oh no, that's a Y. Not you. Big, beautiful, young.
Young.
And then we gotta go from there.
Oh man. But anyways,
First we come up with the porn acronym, then we come up with the bar name. That's like the CEO of that company.
unbelievable. So they're going through their own stuff right now, and I get it because they're under scrutiny for that. And I decided to go there with your brother and Zach, who lives with in the same condo building, and we went there for a drink. And like we walk up to the hostess stand, and we were like, oh yeah, can we just get a reservation? The hostess was like super jokey with us and stuff like that. And then it came time to let us in.
She was like, my germs. Stuck it in your mouth.
and
Scary
like
movie too, dude. It's on
yeah,
Netflix.
exactly.
Go
Great,
check it out.
Go check it out. If anybody's ever heard of the Scary Movie series, highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. You heard it here first.
You heard it. I think it's very underrated.
Yeah, it's cult classic.
Classic.
So we walk up to the front desk, and it was only at that moment that they were like, oh, you need a mask to get in. And I was like, shit, because we had just been chilling at Rec Room for like the whole day, and the Rec Room doesn't care. Like, I don't want to say it like that so that they get put under a bad
Yeah,
spotlight. Like, their staff,
allegedly.
their staff wears masks, but like the customers do not have to. You can. I
It's
didn't
also
really
outside too.
Yeah, it was
right?
outside.
So it's like,
and you can get there directly without going inside, which I think is
Yeah.
the difference. So you can walk through the back, get a seat outside in that big patio area, and like the servers are wearing masks, but like nobody else is.
yeah. So next thing you know, I'm scaling the back wall of the old green turtle. I'm hopping on top of Real Thing's roof.
It was easy because
Parkouring across the gap.
their front sign is so big now with all the different names that I could just easily scale up to
This is
the
just a ladder.
just climbing each step. Barley's, Uptown, Google, Tinder, to the top. And so they were like, oh, you got to wear a mask to walk through the inside so you can get upstairs. And I was like, shit. And I was like, all right, do you
Do
have
they
any?
have it? They have socks at shoe store you can put on try on a shoe.
Yeah,
They just
dude.
have like masks sitting around. All right, yeah, you can have this one.
See, but that's what they should have been doing.
Stretched
Because
out, it smells like shit.
at first I was like, oh, can I just like do the old shirt over my face thing? They're like, no, that's not good enough. And I just remember
No, that's
thinking,
good enough, but if you cut that shirt into pieces and then make a mask out of it, it'll work.
yeah, that works. And it's just like, again, another perfect example of a nonsensical thing. It's like if you were to tie another shirt around your face, then you'd be at the epitome of awesomeness. But if you just put the current shirt you're wearing over your face like this, double layer it, I could triple layer it, dude. I could crop top it up to like this.
Yeah.
And be like,
you put it over your nose, and then you kind of make the seal.
yeah, exactly. You can do it. I could do it. Anybody can do it. We all do it. But it wasn't good enough. So then I was like, do you guys have masks? And they're like, no. And I was like, well, that would be a good, like if I was a business person and I would honestly, sometimes I feel like this virus is perpetrated by Big Mask Incorporated, dude, because like they're making a killing. And like I was thinking like, yo, Green Turtle, you or whatever you are, you could be selling masks for and making that extra guap, But
Yeah.
instead I had to walk up to the Towson Tobacco Market 3 doors up. And I walked in and I was like, do you have masks? Dude, that guy had a stack of masks this high because he probably saw that.
$5 a piece, baby.
Yeah, he got me for $2, which even then I still
Oh.
felt like it was a ripoff. I was like, really, bro?
Damn.
$2?
I got 50 for like 12 on
Damn,
Amazon.
That was a
Yeah.
ripoff, dude. It's like
Yeah.
it's hard to complain about something when it's $2. It's like I would literally buy anything if it's only $2, but like
Yeah, for
even
sure.
so, and that's kind of where they get you because it's like I'm ripping you off right now, but also are you going to be the guy that complains about $2? Are you that fucking broke that like, it's $2?
Also, it's kind of like the convenience fee at that point.
Yeah,
I mean,
because it's
but dude, that's gonna be like a big ticket item for them, I bet, until the mask rules get lifted.
I bet, dude. I bet you when Towson Tobacco Market heard about Backyard's mask policy, they were like, "Oh, this is perfect. This is clear off the shelves. We're not selling anything other than like a couple samurai swords and masks.
Samurai swords, masks, and bongs.
and tobacco smoker things. Like anybody fucking smokes tobacco.
Incense.
Incense, whatever the hell it is.
Water pipes.
So then I walk back in with my mask this time, and we make it upstairs. And we sit at this table, and they like hit us with these rules. Like, okay, so once you sit at a table, you can take your mask off, but like if you stand up to go to the bathroom or anything, you have to put it back on. If you walk up to the bar to get a drink, you have to put it back on.
No table service?
Well, they did have table service, yeah. But it's like, it's one of those things where like you're drinking, and it's that same situation I was describing before about why I'm nervous to play at my first gig this weekend, because it instantly just puts you, me, and any other customer in a situation where like you don't really actually feel comfortable being there. Like you don't feel like, it's not any fault of theirs, but it's like I don't feel like I'm able to just sit here and chill, because now there's like this big rule book of stuff I have to do just to try to enjoy myself at this bar. And so I was like sitting there with Alex and Zach, and we were halfway through our beers, and Alex was just like, dude, I just feel like I'm gonna fuck up, and I don't feel like welcome here, and let's just go somewhere else. And again, it's not, I love that place, and I'm playing there soon, and I support them wholeheartedly, but because they are to that level of prominence, then they're forced to implement these policies, because no one gives a shit what fucking some bar down in Fells Point that's like a privately owned little pub, like
a little dive bar.
Yeah, nobody's paying attention to that, but they'll pay attention to the bigger institutions that they can slam on Facebook for clout and like call them out. So now these big institutions are like, fuck, now we got to put in all these ridiculous, nonsensical policies that basically say like, oh, well, if you're sitting down at a table, you know, you're not spreading the virus talking and whatever you're doing. But like if you stand up, then all of a sudden it's a huge coronavirus risk. And it's like, none of this shit makes sense, but it's all literally put in place to cover their own ass. And once I feel like I'm put in that position, then it's like, well, I don't really feel like participating in this. Like, I get what you got to do, but it's very difficult for me to do that. So we went to another bar after our first drink, and like, you know, that's the other thing. Like, a lot of them are closed and stuff like that. And then we kind of had like that. This was the night that your brother wanted to talk about when he and I went to the graveyard.
Yeah, he said
like,
to talk about it.
Yeah, but I want to save that part for him.
Okay.
Because that meant a lot.
He was
to
saying
him.
he wanted to hear how you told the story. Because he's going to listen. Behind the scenes, we were going to have my brother on tonight, but then it got too late.
I honestly, if I'm being real, I don't know if I could do the story justice without him able to be sitting here playing it off with him, you know? I feel like it needs his input. Like, I'm being self-aware enough to know that if I tell this story, then it's a story that I'm letting it out of the gun where we can't tell it 2 weeks down the road or whenever we get him on the podcast. So I might actually reserve that. Alex, if you're listening, I'm doing this out of respect for you. But just know that it was a phenomenal night. A great time. But full of lots of trials and tribulations that ended up with us walking to McDonald's at 3 a.m. and
and then getting kicked out for not having a mask.
Actually, yes.
Are you for real?
Yeah. Are you for real? Yes, I'm for real. I am very for real.
Well, I can tell this little side story that happened to me and my brother when we visit our grandma. So, like, you know, we went there, we got all checked in, they checked our temperature, we like went up to her room, and like we were hanging out in there. She was at the end of the hall, so there's only like one person beside her. But she had her own room, and it's like, it's so weird because like she's like so pumped up with like pain medicine and stuff right now. She's kind of like just not totally lucid. But like when we had talked to her in the past before, she like seemed pretty okay.
Yeah, you were telling me like, and you and Alex were both telling it like she looked fine like a couple weeks ago when you were like Zoom calling her and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. But we were in the room and we were like trading off, like holding hands with her and just like being with her, and like all of a sudden we just kept hearing a noise from next door, and it was like started off very like soft, but it was like, help, 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 help me. And I was just like looking at Alex, just like, oh no, we can't laugh. But like, this is like, I don't know what's going on. This sounds hilarious. And like, I was just like, oh, I'm such a bad person. So like, and it starts getting louder and louder, and I'm just like sitting there like, because it was already such like a weird emotional state that I was in, but then just like that from out of nowhere, and then also me checking the hall to see if anyone was coming to help her, and no one was coming to help her. I was like, oh no. So like I waited like a minute or something, because I was like, maybe she pressed her button or something, or like maybe someone else is gonna hear.
And she didn't understand how the button works. It's like, no, all you gotta do is press the button. You have to scream help into the help button. We know what you need.
It's not an Alexa, sweetie.
Help me.
No, you have to say, okay, Google, help me.
Hey Siri, help me.
So it like got to a point where I was like, all right, so like this lady is in trouble and no one's up here. So I start walking to the nurse's desk, and like there's a ton of people up there, and I'm like, I see someone in the hallway on the way up there, and this has happened a couple times recently. Like, I don't think people expect other people to like talk to them yet in public, like strangers and shit. Because it happened to me. I have another story, but I was like at the grocery store today. I went into the Dragon's Den, dude. I went to H Mart today.
Oh, dude.
And I was trying to find something, and I was like asking a guy stocking the shelves, and I was like, hey, excuse me. And then he didn't respond, and I was like, oh, maybe like my voice is being muffled by the mask or something. So I was like, excuse me, louder. And he still didn't turn around. I was like, excuse me, sir. And then he like finally turned around. He was like bewildered. He was like, what? You're not 6 feet away. No, I was. But I was like, do you know where the Szechuan peppercorn is? And he's like, this is the only kind we have. And he pointed at like a salt and pepper grinder. And I'm like, that's all right.
Back the way you came, boy. Oh, shit, sir.
Well, no, it was like a Guatemalan dude or something. It wasn't even like a Korean. But that happened at the nursing home too. I was like walking up to the nurse station, and there was someone walking in front of me who worked there, and I was like, excuse me, and then they just didn't turn around. And then I finally get up to the nurse station, and I was like, hey, so we're down to my grandma's room, and the person next door is like calling for help. And I was like, did they press a button? And they're like, oh, no one pressed a button, sweetie. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you might want to check on that, I guess.
Still go there.
Yeah. So then I go back down to my grandma's room. We're sitting there, and then a nurse comes in, and she's like, oh, how are you doing? I heard you're asking for help. And I was like, no, next door. And she's like, oh, okay. So she goes next door, and like, we still keep hearing like every once in a while, like, help me. And then we hear the lady go in there, and she's like, oh my God, what happened? The lady was like falling off of her bed. Like she was like holding herself up onto the bed.
Oh no.
Just being like, help me.
Oh no, dude.
Playing Floor's Hot Lava with her brittle ass bones.
Holy shit. Even the fact that she was like able to suspend herself in midair for that long.
Dude, it's crazy. And like apparently, because like the nurse came back over to be like, oh, well, I'm glad you came and told us, because she was falling out of her bed and she couldn't reach her help button. And I was like, oh my God. Like, what would happen if we weren't here?
She'd still be falling.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Dude, it's crazy. And that made me be like, damn, is this like what happened to our grandma? Like, what the fuck?
Well, I think that's kind of how old people fall. And normally, like in my grandfather's situation, my father's father, he was like an alcoholic for sure. And like, he fell down he would always hang out in the basement and like watch the Orioles and just like crush like a 30 pack of Budweiser. over. Yeah, I don't, maybe at 30 a night. I don't know how much he was drinking. He was big. He drank
just
so
saw him
much.
the game days.
Game days, baby. Birdland. And but yeah, he drank so much his skin was like red. He was actually
Jesus.
legitimately
like
red.
alcoholic
Like so
skin.
red that like so red that like we were kids and we were like drawing pictures of our family. I would use a red crayon to color my grandfather. And they'd be like, "Is your what is your grandfather?"
Yeah,
I'd be like,
is he a surfer or
"What's wrong? I don't know." He never leaves the basement, and he's red. I don't know how he's getting sunburned down.
It's crazy because all he drinks are those blue mountains.
And so he had fallen down the steps, drunk, but also old. But he wasn't like feeble. He wasn't feeble. He was like in pretty solid health, especially for somebody who had been drinking extensively his entire life.
He's got like drinking man confidence.
Exactly. He had beer balls going down those steps.
Yeah, because I
He
mean,
probably-
you saw how old was he?
73.
Dude, you saw Trump the other day and fucking taking that 10-degree angle ramp.
Oh shit!
Didn't you see that?
I did not see that.
The one at
You're talking about 10 degrees from the ground or 10 degrees from?
No, like a 10-degree angle ramp.
Oh
Like
damn!
very, very slight slope, you know?
Very slight incline. Did he make
And
it
that
up?
was the one where he was like, ding, 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 ding. He was like looking for a railing and there wasn't a railing.
Well, I imagine most of the time when you have to come.
That made
to
me
grips.
think he probably took a bad spill.
He probably, dude, when you get old, because, okay, think about it. Like right now, like I notice, like I was thinking about this when I dropped off a delivery and I'm phasing out of seasons now. So there's only so much longer I'm going to have these delivery stories, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But for the time being, we still got them. And this guy lived on like the third floor of his apartment. I ran up the stairs, like doing like the classic, like skip the steps, like I'm in fucking, third grade. Like, here's your pizza, man. Fucking sprint back down.
Ding dong
flying
ditch
off.
a pizza.
Ding dong ditch a guy. But I'm actually supposed to be there.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't a good prank. I ordered this.
Yeah. Did you get the tip I left you? You're giggling.
Damn kids. Actually bringing me my pizza. But yeah, so I drop it off and then I'm like hopping down the stairs. I try to play this game where I try to run down the stairs before he knows I was there. Like, so I'm just like, oh, if he sees you, that's lava.
Dude,
Like,
that's
I'm
contact.
like that immature that like in my mind I play these little games or like like I do that shit all the time. Like I'll be on a jog and there's
You
like a
gotta keep
car.
it fun.
Yeah,
You
there's like
gotta
a
keep it
car
fun.
behind me and I'm like, I gotta make it to that sign before that car gets here. And then I fucking run and then I decide like how my week's gonna be based off if I do it. I'm like, oh, I didn't make it. My week's gonna fuck it. I ruined it. I bet I'll like make little mental bets with my mind. I'm like, if you don't make it to this sign, you're gonna fail in your career, and then I just fucking do it. And then sometimes I'll lose. I'll be like, well, you fucking blew it. Well, you fucking blew it, Jim. You didn't have to
Jim,
do that.
Now's your only chance.
The devil's sitting there like, dude, you could have betted on so many other things, bro. I could have given you infinite talent. But so I play that game and I was jogging down and I remember thinking when I got out the door, I was like, that guy doesn't know what I look like. He doesn't know anything about me other than that I am definitely young, because that is not something a older man would do. You don't just hop down the stairs like you're fucking Peter Cottontail. You don't just do that. And like, I guess at a certain point in life, you stop doing that. Like maybe my grandfather didn't realize, and he was just fucking.
He was trying to fucking jump down the last 5 stairs, dude.
Do I still got it? And then
He
fucking
just
falls.
didn't stick the landing.
Yeah, and he fucking laid there, not able to get to the phone or anything for like, I think he was there for like a day. Because my grandmother was on
Jesus.
vacation, and my grandmother's brother, my Uncle Tony, went over there just to check on the house because nobody had heard from my grandfather, and he found him at the bottom of the stairs. Just like fucking
Dude,
just.
can you imagine that? Can you imagine being stuck like immobile? Because that happened to my old neighbor at my parents' house. Like she fell and broke her ankle or something in the driveway. I don't know the whole story, but she was in her 50s too, and she was just like stuck in there on the driveway ground for like 6 hours.
Oh my god.
And I think her husband was like I forget if he was out or if he was just inside and he couldn't hear her. Like,
But then you tack on the added thing that he was blacked out when he did it. So he probably
Yeah.
like woke up,
dude, if you're stuck there, hungover,
no
for
water,
12 hours.
You wake up
pissing yourself, shitting yourself,
smelling like
beer
fucking
shits, dude.
you
A
got the
30 rack beer shit.
beer
Jesus
shits,
Christ.
parched for thirst. You don't even know why you're there
Hungry.
because you were blacked out. You're like, oh my God, what did I do last night? And you wake up
I
at the
feel like
bottom
you
of this.
kind of imagine what happened.
What could possibly have happened here?
It's really fuzzy. I don't.
Meanwhile, on the other hand, my grandmother, his wife, who is still alive, who has extreme dementia at this point, is so spry. She had a fever dream, like a dementia motivated fever dream, that two men had broken into her house in the middle of the night, and she opened up her second floor window and jumped out of it and landed on her feet, tucked and rolled it, and ran to my neighbor's house and told them about how there's two. And the weirdest thing is, she still remembers that. She'll like sit there with the lights, like, oh my God, I can't believe I jumped out that window. And she tells a story all the time. And she tells it very like old person-y way. Like all of her caretakers are like from Africa. They're like Caribbean or something, or like from Africa or
Jamaican,
from Jamaican or something like that. And like we'll have one like that kind of like when we have like family gatherings, we'll have like the caretaker come over. They have like a set schedule where they come over to my parents' house and like watch her during the day, just to keep her in a routine. And she'll just sit there and just tell that story. These two black men broke into my house and blah, 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 blah. And the caretaker's just like, oh, really, Miss Rose? Wow. And I'm just like, Mom, come on, man. Why they gotta be black, though, Mom? It wasn't even real. You just imagine it.
It wasn't even real. The real part was you jumping out of the window and just being completely fine. Yeah, I think we talked about it on the podcast before. We were just saying she forgot her bones were old. Or her bones forgot they were old.
Yeah.
It was just fine.
Yeah, but
It's a blessing and a curse.
in terms of the whole what you were talking about earlier when you were at H Mart and then the nurses at the
facility.
nursing home facility, whatever it is, it has kind of changed dynamics a lot in that people don't necessarily feel obligated to like. Okay, I was at the point with on Friday night. I met up with Alex at the point, and Dan and Marissa were there.
Nice.
And when I walked in, John Burkhart was talking to their group, and like I just saw him. He turned around. We were like, "Yo!" and fun crazy. But John was on like a couple's date with him and his new fiance and these other two people that I didn't know. And so we talked at the bar a little bit, joking around, shit like that. And then, like, I let him go back to his table. He was sitting on the other side of the bar. He went back to his table. They were doing their own little couples, adults thing. And towards the end of the night, like, we were about to leave or something. They did, like, last call. So I just walked over to the table just to be like, yo, good seeing you, man. Just talk about random shit. Talk about when we're going to have rehearsal again or whatever. And we had, like, a 2-3 minute conversation, things like that. And the other couple sitting there at the other side of the table, it's like a little small table. They're right next to us, but I'm just talking to John primarily the whole time. And then, like, at the end, I was like, all right, man, I think Marissa and them are getting out of here. Alex, I think we're going to Rec. And he was like, oh, yeah, we're going home. I was like, all right, man, good seeing you. So I, like, dap him up, say goodbye to Rebecca. And then, like, I turned to the other couple, and I, like, went to, like, dap up the dude that was sitting there. And he just sat there with his arms crossed like this. And then I was like, oh, pound it, man. And then he just sat. He didn't say anything. And I was just like, oh,
Weird.
all right, man. See you guys. And I just like walked away. And I was like,
yeah.
the fuck was that about? Was that a situation where he was like, was that a corona related thing?
Or just
But at the same time, dude, you're sitting at a bar in
a
public
weird
with no
dude
mask
thing.
on. Yeah.
That might just been a weird dude thing.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt and thinking it was a corona thing. Because I don't want to just.
But also, if it was a corona thing, he could have been like, yeah, man, he could have just went for the elbow or something, you know?
do something. Or even if you just say, like, I'm not going to dap you up because of corona, but, like, nice to meet you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if he's really
kind of
that
thing.
worried about it, he should have fucking pocket sanitizer.
Yeah.
That's what I did at Motor House. I did the Motor House, like, live stream show last week.
Mm-hmm.
And they, like, do it at Motor House. So, like, it was, like, 6 or 7 of us there. And we just, like, did comedy on live stream. But, like, I didn't want to be that dude who was, like, not dapping people up. So, like, I would, if I had enough time, I'd go for the elbow. Like if if I was standing up and they're standing up, totally elbow situation.
Yeah.
But there's a couple times where people came over while I was sitting down and then like came in with the hand, and I was like, all right, whatever. Dapped them up, and then I just put some sanitizer on.
Yeah, dude. It's kind of like you gotta pick your mode a little bit, because it's like you gotta go one way or the other. Like if you go out to a public bar and you're out there on a Friday night where the patio is filled with like 30 people, something like that, you're in public. You have to be expecting semi-regular public interactions. And it doesn't mean hugging every person you meet. But if you meet a new person at the bar and they go for like the friendly dap up, like nice to meet you type situation, at the very least, if you decide to be that sketched out by it, on a certain level, you still should feel obligated to like make it known. Like, hey, dude, it's not because I think you're a fucking douchebag who just came over here and started yoting in the middle of our dinner with this dude, which could have been
also,
it.
you guys are having dinner at a fucking bar. Like,
Yeah,
it's
the dinner
not
was
the
gone.
most high class thing.
Yeah, it wasn't
It's not
like
like
they-
you're at fucking Roos Chris and
Yeah.
like you walked over and you're like, "Oh, what's up, John? What's up, boy?
What's up, boy?
It's
None
like,
of that
sir, you're spitting on our bread.
shit.
Sir, I can't use the butter on the table anymore."
Yeah, there was no food on the table. They were sitting at a table with drinks. But like, again, it's John's friend. I'm sure they're fine. But it just stuck with me because I think that very well could have been one of those Corona moments where
I'm
I
gonna
just
fucking beat his ass now.
forgot where I was
I'll
in
do
time.
this for
and just,
you and John.
I hope you do, dude. I want to hunt that guy down. I want to find out where that motherfucker lives. I want to break into his fucking house, and when I get to
Fucking
his room,
spit in his ear.
in the middle of his sleep, I just want to wake him up and oh my god, and then I just dap him up,
Dab him up.
dap him up, and skate out into the night.
No, dap him up while he's asleep, and then just go, "My germs," into his ear, and then run out of the room and jump down the stairs.
Fall there, lay there for a day.
Wake up in 24 hours. What happened? Still in their apartment.
Local man daps and enters another man's house. Injures himself on the fall. A dap and entering, dude. Brutal. First ever recorded case in Maryland. There's got to be at least one of those in history.
Larry
I was
Hogan's got to do something about that.
Yeah, it's becoming a plague.
Yeah, I did the Magoobies thing last week. Or not Magoobies, Motor House. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was good seeing everyone. Ivan had some funny facial hair going on.
Nice, dude.
He had some like Civil War facial hair going on. He had like the neck strap kind of goatee, but no mustache.
Oh, sick.
It was pretty funny.
I've been
I liked
missing
it.
those guys. I
Bruce
saw,
Daddy was there. I
thought-
saw Tink, Maria. It was
See Eddie Lyles?
No, I didn't see Eddie.
He was in my dream last night.
That's so funny.
We were in the middle of Towson, and I walked past him on the street.
He
And,
goes to LA Fitness there, I think.
In my dream or in real life?
In real life, because he would always go to LA Fitness and then come see a movie. I'd see him at the movie theater every once in a while.
Maybe I like sensed his presence one night walking around in Towson subconsciously.
Yeah.
Because like the other thing
now
was
he's just in your roster for your dream background characters.
yeah, exactly. Like he's like one of my characters, and like because he commented on the live stream one, because he was in the Joe Rogan Experience podcast group, and whenever we do our live streams, I always start watch parties in all the different podcast groups, and sometimes they do well, and sometimes people are like,
yeah.
what the fuck is this? And they're
Yeah.
like 1 week they were just like frying. A couple of guys were saying nice things like, these guys really got something going on, and then they just started frying our apartments. Like they were like they started talking like, look, watch out for the Santa behind you, and then like fucking they were like the other guy's got to do something about that table, talking about like your table in the back, and
yeah,
had like a
with all
bunch
the
of shit on it.
yeah.
And they were like, oh, wait, these guys can't be not cool because he's got a guitar in the background. I had like a guitar. He was like the guy with the conveniently placed guitar on the couch
Hell
during the live
yeah.
stream. I was like, all right, dude, whatever, bro. But anyway, Eddie Lyles popped into that group because he's in it, and he just sent me like the waving thing. And I, as a joke in the chat, I just said, we're on Rogan next week. And he was like, tight. And so in my dream, that was like 2 weeks ago. And then in my dream last night, I'm walking by him and I see him on the street and I turn around. I remember I turned around like this. We were like right out front of Rec Room and he was talking blah, 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 blah. It was actually right out front of the Wrecker. And he was talking blah, 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 blah.
2.0.
Yeah. And the Wrecker 2.0, Uptown Barley's.
Barley's Uptown 2.0 backyard.
And I just turned around. We were talking. He's like, yo, I heard you on Rogan next week. And I was like, yeah, bro.
Literally in your dreams.
Literally in my dreams. Whatever, dude. Whatever.
Oh, shit. That's so funny.
Yeah, man, I miss seeing all those guys out. It's always it's fun, and I can't wait till that stuff starts to trickle back into my life.
Yeah, I felt weird, like initially, like dapping up Maria because like she has not once ever quarantined herself during this whole pandemic. Like 1 week into it, I kept seeing her like post pictures of her having like parties at her house. And I was like, no. That might have still been during when there was that like black people can't get coronavirus meme.
Yeah, that was a thing.
That was like a real thing. But also, yeah, I don't know. She was fine, so like good on her. Good on her for not fucking, fighting the system. And that was during when I thought that Greek and Italian people were super humanly susceptible
to coronavirus. So I was like, oh shit, I can't even talk to my black friends right now because they're immune and I'm like super not immune, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah. But there was
patient, what's zero in Greek?
What the fuck is zero? That's a good ass question. I should know that, dude. I know every other number in Greek.
Is it zero?
I think it starts with a K.
Zero.
I wish we had a producer so I could be like, yo, Jamie, pull up what number zero is in Greek. And then he pulls up the wrong number. He's like, I got the number 2 in Swahili. Fuck dude, you, Jamie.
I have an extra Google Home Mini. Should I bring that to the studio and we'll have like an AI assistant?
Oh, it's me then.
Me then. Patient me then.
Patient me then. That's pretty sick. I don't know how the fuck that works. But that's me.
That's you, dude. That's all you.
Yeah, dude, definitely bring the fucking... that one. Thanks, bro. Definitely bring the Google thing to the studio because we already have the automatic camera switcher going, so now we just need the auto producer. Auto bitch. Auto slave.
Okay, Google, what's zero in Greek? Yeah,
shouldn't
I don't know.
you know this, bitch?
Yeah, I'll bring it out. I was also thinking of I was looking at getting a little gift for the studio.
Nice. What are you thinking?
You'll see it.
A surprise.
Eventually.
Okay. Cool. Perfect. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I got some stuff on. I had to cancel a couple of my orders because everything is so far back ordered that like. I have to like order them from different places now because they like decided to call me 3 weeks later to let me know after I reached out to them and be like, oh shit, yeah, we don't actually have any in stock. I was like, dude, I messaged you like 2 weeks ago and you said it was on the way. Fuck Jeez. You guys. So like I was dealing with that. So like that's really the main reason I haven't even thought about going back to the studio yet because right now we have this very convenient camera switch thing going on.
Oh yeah,
and
exactly.
Like, we just talked about the cameras we're going to get this week, and I have yet to place those orders.
You never sent me the link, though.
Yeah, I got, like, the info I needed from you, and then I was like, but now I actually have to, like, research, and now that's going to be that's going to have to take a full day off of me on, like, 6 coffees and, like, an anxiety attack where I'm like, what are you doing? You need to figure this out, and then I'll send you links. When you get links, just know that I'm on the other end of that phone in fucking jitters.
Freaking out.
I finally fixed this.
What did you say? It was the 6400?
Yeah, Sony A6400. But, yeah, dude, honestly, I got a great little ongoing saga on this podcast for later. I'll save for the end.
It looks like they have kits that come with a 16 to 50 and an 18 to 135.
Yeah, I don't know. I looked into it and I was like, how many fucking lens cleaners do I need? I need one.
No, not really. If you're not doing anything to them,
True, which I'm not. What am I
Yeah.
fucking doing with them?
they just
Taking them
sit
out on
there.
the road?
They sit there. It's fine.
That's what I'm thinking.
And then also, yeah, that'll be fine.
We'll be good, dude. I like literally because everything else is taking so long. I just like once I get confirmation, because the other thing is I need to wait for certain amounts of money to get like refunded to my credit card, so I can then repurpose that money towards the other shit before I buy the thing that I actually need. I need to get refunded for the shit that I got and then haven't gotten the money. It's like a whole bunch of shit. It's like in due time we'll get there, but it's
Yeah.
pissing me off lately. But we went out to I believe it was Friday night. Dom and I both worked at Seasons, and like I was just kind of going a little stir crazy this week. Every now and then I'll go through like cycles where I'm like, Jesus, I haven't talked to a girl in like forever. And then so like I like sent a couple like Hail Mary texts or whatever, to no avail. But then I come back to the shift and my brother's like, yo, what are you doing tonight? And I was like, obviously nothing, dude. And he was like, oh, you know that girl that like blah, 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 blah. Well, she wants to come over with her roommate or something like that. And I was like, oh, sick. So they do. And, you know, they're like typical. They're like 24-ish, something like that. Like they live in the apartment building. They used to live in the same building as us, and then they moved next door to a worse building for no fucking reason. And like they're over, and like it was a fun night. And then we wake up, and they decide they're gonna come over at like 8 a.m. Like the next morning, they come over at like 8 a.m.
What?
And like wake. Like my brother invited the girl in, and then they like come in and wake me up with like literally like fucking like beers, and like they're pouring up shots at like 8 in the fucking morning. And like I was like, look, myself personally, I'm past the point in my life where I'm gonna do something to impress a girl. So like it's 8 in the fucking morning. I'm 27 years old. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna get out of bed. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to brush my teeth, comb my hair. I'm going to walk out to the beat off, which I did because I got fucking blue balls last night. So yeah, obviously. Then I walk out to the kitchen, make myself a coffee. Then I make myself another coffee.
This time Irish.
Because it's 4 fucking hours before I'm used to waking up. And now I got these obnoxious, screaming bitches in my apartment doing shots before breakfast.
Yeah.
And so
That's
we're sitting,
insane.
dude, it is wild. And so we're sitting on the couch, and like my brother's like doing shot for shot. They're just going crazy. And I'm just sitting there. I played the game a little bit. I had like a Miller Lite. I poured some Kahlua in my coffee, and I was like, all right, let's play the game a little bit. It's Saturday. And,
But hey, who said Saturday was ever for the girls?
it's not for the girls, dude. And all I remember thinking was like, dude,
I feel so lame for saying that.
it's not for the girl. It's true. I was thinking it the whole time. Should have worn my shirt saying Saturday is not for the girls. And so I'm playing along, and then they're like, let's go to brunch, blah, 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 blah. At this point, my brother is like blacked out.
What is it, 9:30?
It's 10:30 a.m. at this point. My brother's
my
blacked
God.
out. These chicks are blacked out, and I'm like coasting.
You're just sitting there reading the morning paper, about to play a
Literally.
game of online chess.
Literally, dude. They kept on, the one girl coming like, you're 7 years old, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, whatever, bitch. Like, they were like, I think you're like a fake musician. I never heard you. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, whatever.
Like, bitch,
Bitch.
watch me.
So we decide to go to the point. We get to the point 10 minutes before it opens.
Oh my God.
And I've never been to anywhere before it opens. I've never been that guy. But I've been a server where I've seen those guys where they show up and like you're still
And you
setting up the
hate
fucking
them.
restaurant. And so like we're like, oh fuck. So I'm like, guys, we are not waiting out front of here. We're going somewhere else. We're gonna take a lap and come back. We come back at like 11:03 when they open. We sit down. They get like these big gulps of like screwdrivers, orange juice, and vodka.
Who puked first?
Great question. So we're sitting there. I get the breakfast burrito. Dom's fucking blacked out, joking around, but he's not being too out of pocket.
Yeah, hopefully he's in public.
Yeah. But then this other girl, like suddenly she like flips a switch, and she like goes silent, and she stands up, and she is like, like stupid drunk at this point. She's like spitting in a cup and like
I called
drooling
it.
and like not able to speak. And I was and like the girl at our table was like, sit down, do not fucking do this right now. I was like, no, fuck that. Get the fuck out of here. Like because I play there and I was like, this is not going to be the way I go out.
Yeah.
This is not going to be the way I go out. I am not going to be the guy who showed up at 10:55 during quarantine
with already drunk women.
With already it was remarkable.
Not a good look.
Remarkable. And so I was like, I went off on him. I was like, no, get the fuck out of here. Get out in the street. And she's like, well, I want a box for my food. I was like, put it in your fucking pockets. We're getting the hell out of here. I went off. I was very mad. And my brother doesn't even remember this. If that's any... My brother, I talked to Dom. I saw him like a day later after like...
He woke up.
Yeah, after he woke up. And I'm like, Dom... What the fuck was that all about at the thing? He's like, whoa, when we went to brunch, what was wrong with that? What were you talking about? I was like, Dom, you don't remember when we almost like, when your fucking girl almost threw up on the patio next to a table of like a family and like a couple on a brunch date? You don't remember when like, and then we walked back and she tried to piss in the middle of the street like it's 2 a.m. after the bars. Meanwhile, it's broad daylight. It's not even lunch yet.
Like 11:45 in the morning.
11:45 trying to piss not behind, in front of the Dominican barbershop.
I can for sure tell you I literally wasn't awake yet.
Dude, I should not have been awake. I was like, you know what? This is why I don't wake up before noon. Because, you know how I will say? Nothing good happens before noon. That's how I live my life. And I was proven right once again. Ridiculous, dude. Absolutely. I just could. It was just... And I was thinking, like, is that like how... Oh, Marissa... Is that like how like that shit? I don't know. I was like, I don't remember being like that when I was younger.
No. But that's like, it's always weird how whenever like you are thinking about like, was I like that as a kid? It's always for like the worst possible scenario.
Yeah. Like I remember being like ignorant, but I don't remember being like ruin other people's time ignorant. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
At least I thought I was making people's time at the time when I was blacked out saying jokes. But I'm sure to other people that didn't know us, they just thought we were fucking stupid. But like, it wasn't so. I've never been a big like throw up at somebody's house, throw up at the bar, get in a bar fight, shit like that.
Yeah.
Wake up at 8 a.m. to start getting blacked out. Like,
yeah, the only time I threw up in someone's house was when we went up to New York. When I like puked in Scott's sink or something. And it got all over his cousin's makeup. And she's like, why didn't he puke in the toilets right there? And I'm like, dude, I don't even remember puking. I'm so sorry.
The amount of people that don't puke in the toilet is like too damn high. It's like how because I've only done that once in somebody's house. I threw up at JT's house when we were like 19. And we had that like mini house party that wound up being like all dudes and one chick.
But the crazy thing was you punched that hole in the wall and tried to... No, I'm just kidding. We know that was me hired Chris
Don't
Green.
you fucking bring that up, Eric. Took me like 3 years to live that down. I didn't even do it.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, you were the only one that knew how to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And
so I negated it either way.
Yeah. So it's like... But then it made people assume that you did it because you're like, oh, I'll fix it.
Exactly. The problem with that situation is that everyone assumed...
You're just too good of a friend.
Everyone assumed that I broke it. So then when I fixed it, it just brought me back to like even.
Even, yeah.
When in reality,
like +1.
that should have been like a +4 friend move.
Yeah.
You know? But instead, I lost 4 points on that night. Plus, I also piled on top of it by throwing up on his dad's wine collection. So I ended the series -2. Like when I should have been like, all right, you threw up on my dad's wine collection, but you fixed the wall. Instead, it was you threw up my dad's wine collection, punched a hole in our wall, but then you fixed the wall. You still lost this one. Yeah. Still a bad night for you.
Damn.
It's whatever, dude.
Damn, dude, you've been going on some fucking escapades.
It wasn't even the worst of it, dude.
Whoa, wait. before you even go into something even crazier, I'm trying to like go through my Rolodex to make sure I get everything out.
Please do. I'm trying to alternate, like, you go, and then I'll tell fucking night 3 of my bar story. You go, night 4.
It's fucking nightmare mode. Shit, dude. I don't even know. Like, because I really haven't been doing anything crazy. I did that show. I stayed in most of the weekend. I've just been playing fucking video games, honestly. Dude, if anyone's playing Escape from Tarkov, it's this like Russian survival game. It's fucking sick.
Is it like a war game, or is it like a you're out in the woods Survivor Man style game?
You're out in the woods Survivor Man
That sounds
style.
sick, dude. You see like hunt shit and stuff?
You like hunt other people and like and so like your items. So like basically you have like a loadout and you can like set up your loadout and you have a stash. But if you go into a game and you die, other players can loot your shit and you'll never get it back. So like if you die, you lose all your shit. So if you have like a sick ass gun, well, you save progress, but like
you don't save your items and shit.
If you make it out alive, you keep everything. So like if you survive and kill like 3 people, you can take all their shit and leave and then just like sell it all. Mm-hmm. And then, but if you die, you like lose everything. It's super fucking fun. But it's like I play it like such a pussy because I'm just like, I don't want to die.
Like you take like all the pussy options and they're like, should you fight this guy or should you like de-escalate the situation?
No,
press
I hear,
B to de-escalate.
I hear gunshots and then just run the opposite way. Like, oh no.
You know what's funny is that's how I used to play, like, and this is why I didn't enjoy my childhood as much as I wish I did. Because whenever we would play those games, like I remember one time, we were in Boy Scouts and I was Troop 828. What troop were you again?
729.
I wish we were in the same troop, dude. You were in the Towson troop. I always did like Lutherville shit. Like I lived in Towson, like in the heart of Towson.
Like, I guess I was in like, I don't know if it's the Towson troop because the Towson troop was like Tom Esty and like a couple other people.
That was Troop 828. That was my troop. But that they met in off Ridgely Road in Lutherville.
I mean we met on Charles Street, like by the Eddies. The one in like the one, not Ruxton. It's like right near Roland Park.
Oh,
like,
you guys met down there?
It was at Brown Memorial. So it's like, you know, the drive-through Starbucks. It was kind of over by, I think like Andrew Flannery lived kind of over there.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I guess that makes sense because you kind of grew up. I would say you probably grew up closer
like
there
Rogers
than
Forge type troop. Like, because it was like Stoneleigh and Rogers Forge Cub Scouts went to that one. I'm pretty sure.
And I was in like the middle of I was like in the middle of like a weird realm in Towson where like I'm in the center of Towson, but I went to like Hampton Elementary School, which is up in Lutherville off of Charmouth Road, and like so like all the people I grew up with. All like they went to fucking Ridgely Middle School. I went to Dumbarton. I was one of like 6 kids from my elementary school that went to Dumbarton. So like I had to make all new friends, which was fine because I didn't have any friends in elementary school, so it wasn't that hard. But but like we would play those survival games and shit like that, where like they would be like a team that was like trying to attack you and tag you and shit like that.
Or like
and I remember
flashlight tag and shit.
It's funny that you mentioned Tom Esty because he's actually included in this story. He was like my partner and. We were at Camp Alcor, I think it was. Did you guys ever go there, Alcor?
No, I would go to Broad Creek.
I think we went to Broad Creek too, but this particular one was at Alcor where they had
Camp
like the cabin.
Spencer. Camp
I don't remember
Spencer,
that one.
baby.
I was only in Boy Scouts for
I bet you were Saffron for sure.
I couldn't. I was in Cub Scouts from the time I was a little kid, or like from like I think I started off as a wolf. I wasn't a tiger. Tiger's like the kindergarten, 1st grade level, and then Wolf Scout is like 2nd grade. Then it's Bear Scout, 3rd grade, and then Weeblo. What comes after Bear Scout? Weeblo? Weeblos?
So it's Tiger, Wolf, Bear, and then Weeblo, I guess, right?
And then you're like a Weeblo with the arrow of light.
Yeah.
And that's
you're
what
like
takes you into Boy Scouts.
And then like you cross the bridge like at elementary school graduation. They just like repurpose that bridge.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, now you can be a tenderfoot.
So I was
you
a
can
tenderfoot.
Stop being an animal now.
Actually, but you don't even directly become a tenderfoot. You're like a tenderfoot, but like with the badge pinned like opposite way on your shirt. I was that for like a year, and then finally I earned tenderfoot, and I was like a tenderfoot for like 6 more months after like my friends had already become like fucking like Star Scouts, and I was like, dude, I'm never doing this.
Well, I mean, it was honestly all that shit was so easy. You kind of just like checked it off as you went to summer camp. So like I think by like 10th grade I was like a star or something, maybe even life, because it was life and then eagle.
But you had to like,
I remember being a life for like a long ass time and then dragging my heels till like my mom helped me do my eagle project.
well, my dad took on this like thing where he was like, if you want to do it, you gotta fucking do it yourself. You gotta come to me and tell me when you want to do your training, because I'm not gonna do it. And my mom would be like, whatever. And like, so like I'm 6th grade and I'm not thinking like I better step up my ranking. I was just like, I don't care, I'm playing basketball with my friends. And then when I got to high school and I was still a fucking like tenderfoot, or when I got to 8th grade and I was still a tenderfoot, I was like, I'm going to football practice, I'm doing other shit. Like I was missing like an entire 6 months out of the year for sports, and then I'd show up like way behind. And I was just like, I mean, you gotta pick one or the other.
If you're doing sports, I feel like you don't need to do Boy Scouts, honestly.
Yeah,
it's
that was
like
pretty much it.
They're all just kind of different ways to like teach discipline and kind of like, I don't know. It's weird. It's just kind of like it's just what it's named, Boy Scouts. Like you're just fucking letting boys do fucking things that boys like to do, and there's like a weird kind of undertone of not like education to it, but at the end of the day, like you're just kind of there to burn shit. And
it's like also very Christian, right? It's very religious, as I remember. There was a lot of God stuff involved, which I wouldn't. Like we met at a church. Our meeting spot was a church.
Yeah, I mean ours was at a church too, and they did make us do like once a year. They would make us go to like a service at that church. Yeah, just because like in like the credo they say like, your Boy Scout is proud, brave, whatever, and then like revenant, which is like to be
revere God.
Yeah, revere God. So
also
like,
a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Better movie.
Better movie.
But I don't know. It's weird because like I don't think, because our troop even had there's like a big, it wasn't even a big to do. It just kind of like, I feel like their parents were about to make it a big to do, but like I remember the first time I found out what an atheist was when like this atheist kid joined our Boy Scout troop.
Oh shit.
So like that happened and I was like, oh, he's just, I mean like nothing was different because none of us talked about God at all.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh cool, you're around our age, sweet. Yeah. You can ride with me and my mom to summer camp.
Yeah. I feel like that was like when I realized, like during those coming up ages, that was when I realized that I was supposed to be a musician, like subconsciously, because like I would never win any awards at the ceremonies or anything like that. But then they'd always have me sing the national anthem like before like the big ceremonies and stuff. So I would like not show up for like 6 months, and then I have to like sing for the ceremony. And then when I went to high school, like I wasn't on varsity, but then I would sing before the wrestling meets and stuff. And then when I was on varsity, that was finally when the coaches were like, Mr. Yoska would always make me do it before matches. I remember I had to do it before a match, and I walked out on the mat, and I'm like about to wrestle this dude, and this dude was like,
"You're in your onesie."
Yeah.
Your balls hadn't descended yet.
Yeah.
Oh, say.
Yeah. Like, dude, I can tell from the way you just sang that song that you're not gonna fucking beat
your ass. You don't even have testosterone yet, dude.
It's hard to intimidate a guy when you've just sang fucking America, because I didn't want to sing "Oh Say Can You See," what do they call the national anthem, because it's a very hard song to sing, and I have to sing it after doing like the full warm-ups, doing sprints and shit like that and stretching, and be out of breath and have to get up there in my fucking warm-ups and sing. So I was like, I'll do America the Beautiful, because I don't want to fuck up the national anthem. And then like it's very hard to like then change modes and then go onto the mat and fucking, when the guy's like, hey, nice job singing, like even though I'm about to fucking put my balls in your face, like just give me a break. Let me stop doing this. But like in those, I remember like as going back to like what you're talking about, the video game thing, when I was a kid, we would play those games where like there was like the team that was like defending the fort, and they were like out there trying to get you, and then like there was like a team trying to attack the fort, but like it was basically like you were trying to like stay from getting captured or whatever. And me and Tom Esty were like, dude, let's run into the fucking woods. And we just literally ran like all the way out into the woods, and just like we're like trying to like navigate around the base. But like way far out in the woods.
Dude. We were
trying to flank them, and by the time we got there, the game was over.
Yeah, we both lost. We left the border of the game.
But in my mind, I was like, well, we kind of won. Like, our whole team got captured. Our whole team lost, and then like the whole team got captured, and then the
And then they
scoutmaster
had to
was like,
stop the game to look for you guys.
yeah, and they were like, hold up, where are Jimmy and Tom? And then came out of the fucking woods. They were like, where the fuck were you guys doing, dude? And the same thing. I remember they had that game at Towson University. It's funny because like how much of a kid you really still are when you're a freshman in college, because they would set up those like little social events and stuff. We're like 18 years old on the Towson University campus, and they had like, this is like when Walking Dead was like super popular. This was like the peak of that like zombie age, 2011, 2012. And there was like the administrators and like the upperclassmen were like the zombies, and then like we were like regular people. So they were just running around, and they had like the glow sticks and we didn't. And then like they would capture you, and then like they'd give you a glow stick, and then you became a zombie, and then you had to go capture other people and shit like that. And I just remember like, I don't even know if I just did this on my own, but I was just like, I'm flanking them. I'm fucking flanking them. And again, I just fucking ran around the whole thing until everybody became a zombie. I'm like off the campus. I'm like at my house, fucking running around.
Like,
I'm
we had
fucking
to run back to go get your binder. You left it at home.
yeah, I'm like at Bill Bateman's now. And I run in. I'm like, dude, I kind of won this game, but also all I did was just like run away.
Yeah,
But
Here's
that's
a
how
rogue
you play.
zombie, dude.
That's how you play those video games. Where like the part of the fun is supposedly supposed to be like you fucking get in a fight with people, you fucking
Yeah.
capture their shit. And you're just like, I'm just gonna go through this as a nice man.
Yeah. Well, so there's like two ways to play. So like you can play as your character who like you level up, and then like you can use all of your gear, or you can play as like a scavenger, and you just basically like go in halfway through a round and then like pick up dead people's shit or like get in fights.
Mm-hmm.
If you make it out, you keep everything, but like you can't take stuff in. So like you can't take in any of like keys or anything shit you found. So I like playing that, and I like get more aggressive when I'm playing that, because it's like, all right, like none of this shit was mine anyway. I don't care if I lose it. I didn't find anything cool.
Yeah.
But like, dude, I'll literally be playing as my main character with like basically just a pistol, be like, I can't lose this, and like running around finding like cigarettes and lighters and coats and being like, I gotta get this out of here. I gotta
Smoking
extract.
a cig in the game.
Yeah, dude. I sold like a cigarette and lighters for like 7,000 rubles.
Press triangle to smoke cig.
I can't even buy like 30 rounds of ammo for that. It's fucking crazy.
That's fucking sweet. That's the kind of game I could see myself playing, because I remember one of my favorite games growing up was
It's
this
so
game
immersive, dude.
called Gun, and it was based in the Wild West, so you could like ride a horse. It was on GameCube. I had GameCube. I was always a big Nintendo family for no fucking reason, because N64 was the shit. I think N64
N64
during that
was so good.
that late 90s generation where it was N64, PlayStation, and
Dreamcast.
N64 was like the top, in my opinion. And then the next generation was like PS2, and then fucking GameCube, and then like Xbox came out, and then it was just like, okay, Nintendo is like the worst of the worst now. But now I feel like Nintendo just
GameCube
kind of,
was kind of cool.
it was cool.
I wanted
but, like,
to
they
get
had
a GameCube.
They had those
Me
like,
and my
weird-
brother went to Toys R Us, and we're like, we want to get a GameCube, but they were sold out. Or no, what happened? We wanted to get a PS2, and they were sold out. So then the sales guy was like, oh, you guys should get an Xbox. They're so much better. And us as kids were like, really? That's so cool. We haven't even heard about this yet. And he was literally just selling candy to kids. We're like, Mom, get us an Xbox now.
This older man said it was cool.
Yeah, he said to get Halo too. So we
sick,
literally
dude.
got an Xbox, Halo, and then like Fusion Frenzy from Toys R Us, and then that was when I started playing Xbox games, dude.
I guess it didn't really matter as much back in the day, because that was before they had like you could play online and stuff, So like now,
Well,
then
Xbox
it became like,
had Xbox Live, and if I'm being fucking honest, I literally could never. I was like good at technology as a kid, but like I didn't know the difference between like phone cable and Ethernet cable.
yeah.
So like I would always try to go on Xbox Live, and I would literally like spend my allowance. I like spent all of my money on Xbox Live, on fucking phone wire, and then like I tried to set it up. I bought a new router because it didn't work at first. And like I literally could never figure out Xbox Live, and I like felt like such an idiot. And
But
then
what
I got
else are you spending your
PS2.
allowance on at that point? You know, it's like...
Well, then I bought a PS2
Exactly.
with my allowance, and then I figured out that I was like, oh, I needed an Ethernet cable this whole time,
And
then
I
I
just
started
figured
playing
out.
PS2 online, and I was sick.
I figured out what an Ethernet cable was when I was like 23. So beat me out by a long shot.
I mean, I think I was in like 8th grade or something,
Yeah.
which is, I don't know. But once I started learning about that stuff, that's when the ball started getting rolling.
Yeah, but that was another thing. I just kind of like, I dropped off the video game surf. I think the last game that I played like all the way through was True Crime. Remember True Crime?
Yeah,
Streets
True
of-
Crime, Streets of
Streets
LA.
of LA, and then they came out with True
Snoop
Crime-
Dogg, right?
Yeah, they came out with True Crime Streets of New York, I think, was with Snoop Dogg.
Oh,
But I didn't really
feel
finish-
Like
I think
it'd be
I-
LA would be Snoop Dogg.
Maybe it was just the main character in True Crime Streets of New York was black. I just
okay.
assumed this must be Snoop Dogg.
Well, the other one was Snoop Dogg. So who's this?
Which rapper is this black man I'm playing as? But that was when I just kind of like, you know, I remember like distinctly I finished True Crime and I was just like, that game was wild, by the way, because I never played GTA. I never played Grand Theft Auto.
I played GTA as a kid, but I never beat them. Like,
Yeah.
I never like I could never play like single player games that were that long as a kid. Like I just beat Max Payne 3, which like I used to do like tech support for that game, and I've have like 2 free copies of it from doing tech support for that game. And even back when I was giving out advice to people on the phone for that game, I didn't beat it. I like barely even played it. But like the other day I was like, I remember that being a little fun. And then I just like spent one night and just fucking beat it. It was fun.
Yeah, now I tell you what, I'll correct
Life
myself.
is slowed
now.
down enough for me where I'm able to play,
You can enjoy it.
enjoy
Yeah.
a story again.
Like, when we got the Xbox up and running a couple months ago, I told you I was becoming a gamer guy again, and that was like when we
Yeah.
started playing. Like I think the last game that I played all the way through and beat was Call of Duty World at War,
Yeah.
which is the one where they introduced the first like Nazi zombies.
they
like
got
the
the
dope na-
like the ray gun in that and shit.
Yes, and
Yeah.
my brother and I were playing that like extensively, like last month, like every night. And then we just started playing like UFC fights. And then my brother just kept murking me in UFC because he fucking sits in the house all day like a loser and practices all day. And then I fucking come home and he just fucking mops my ass up. So I was like, fuck this game. But like, you know.
I've been trying to get back into here, check this out. Have you ever seen my fight stick?
Yo, what is that?
I got an arcade stick.
That is sick. Does that like, you can use that for like Xbox games or is that for PC or what?
It was for 360. I got it for like Street Fighter 4 back in the day,
Oh shit.
but I like just brought it back out because I was like, Street Fighter was really fun. So I
That's
started
a
playing
game-
Street Fighter again, and I was playing Mortal Kombat 2. Or not Mortal Kombat 2, but I was playing Mortal Kombat as well.
Mortal Kombat also.
Yeah.
That's a game I could see me and you having fun with because, like, anything, and this is anything in life. It's the same way I go about shows. Never been a big guy who's going to watch a show that I need to know what happened on the previous episode. It's always going to be like, you know, if I can just load up the game and fight you as like fucking whatever guy, the Asian chick, and then you're like
Yeah.
the fucking blue guy.
Dude, maybe I should, so my plan is to bring my TV to the studio for like the
Lit.
studio monitor.
Yes.
But I also have, I'm pretty sure I just have my old 360 sitting around. I should just bring my 360 out and bring the arcade sticks out.
yeah, dude, just
And just
fucking
leave it
have
there.
that on deck.
Yeah.
that would be so
Because
chill.
I have 2. I have 2 arcade sticks.
We're
This
about
is
to
just the
have
nicer one.
The coolest studio,
this player
bro.
one's arcade stick. The other one is like half this size and has 2 less buttons.
Hell yeah, dude. That's fucking fly.
Dude, that'd be sick. 'Cause
Yes.
I fucking love Street Fighter.
Damn, dude. I got a couple. This
Oh
one
yeah,
I
what
thought
was the last?
Oh, so
Started with Marissa.
Yeah. Okay. So these are two unrelated stories, but Marissa is involved in both. The first one's just kind of a little clip that I thought was funny, where we were sitting at the Point, that same night, Friday night, or I think it was Saturday night actually, and she was with Dan, and she was like, Jimmy, Dan told me I need to tell you this story because he just said like you would love it, and I think you would love this story, and I was like, lay it on me, and she was like, so my friend is dating this dude. Or like she's like in a relationship with this dude, and they got in this like discussion about like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that, and he was like, she's like super like progressive, like talking about like all this stuff, and this guy's like not at all, and like whatever, and then she was like, she's thinking about breaking up with him, and she was like, you know what the weird thing is, like she's a white chick, but this dude is a black guy. So she's dating like a black
Republican.
Yeah. So dude, she's thinking about,
that's sick.
That's fucking crazy, honestly.
That dude is like fucking unbelievable. That's amazing.
It's like
because he just has the perfect trap card.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're breaking up with me because I'm black.
Yeah, that too. She was basically saying like,
how are you telling me that black lives don't matter? I'm black.
That was the thing. I was like, it's weird because like she was saying all this stuff like, you know how like black people this, that, blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, you know, like my family, I was born on Greenmount, and then like in like the hood, and then my parents just like got like worked really hard, and then they bought a house in Parkville and sent me to like I went to school in like Parkville and stuff like that, and so I just don't understand like why people can't do that. And she was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you know, blah 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 blah. And I was just like, what's funny about that is you see the situation where like this chick is like the perfect comedy. She's like so woke that she's gonna try to explain to a black guy
the black
what
experience.
What it's like being black, to the point where she now wants to break up with this guy because he doesn't agree with her white-splained version of black people. And I just thought that was so hilarious. I was like, Marissa, thank you so much for telling me that fucking
beautiful
story. It's a beautiful story. I was like, that's like a SNL skit. That is literally an SNL skit. Like they start off the skit where it like pans in and the girl's talking to her friend. She's like, I don't know, like my boyfriend doesn't he just has like these weird like values about, he doesn't believe in like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that, and then the other chick's like, oh my god, here he comes, and then the guy walks in and it's a black guy with like a MAGA hat, and the crowd just fucking goes ballistic. That's a fucking SNL skit, dude. Like, yeah, I just thought it was so fucking funny.
Honey, I'm home.
Honey, I'm home. Oh my god, calm down, he's coming in. He walks in. It's a fucking Hootie in the Blowfish t-shirt.
Hell yeah. Tucked into his jeans, tucked into his Wranglers.
Yeah. I just thought that was just the most beautiful tale. But
that's like one of those like beautiful like 2-sentence stories that like fucking whoever put out.
Just fucking great. That same night though, I have an ongoing saga that I've been keeping you guys up to date with. It started 2 episodes ago. At the end of the episode, I told you about this girl that I matched with on Tinder. Let's call her Hannah.
Let's call her Sandy, because it was all revolved around SpongeBob, right?
Sandy. Let's go Sandy. I like that. Let's call her Sandy.
Cheek. What, you got some sand in your cheeks?
Sandy
what are you so
cheeks.
uptight for?
That, I wish I said that, by the way. I like re-listened to the episode. I was like, damn, I should have said that. So it starts off, you go back to episode 195. At the end of the episode, I tell the whole story about this girl like bitching me over text and like blah blah blah, tells me not to talk to her anymore, this, that, the other thing. And then we get an argument.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, over a SpongeBob argument. And then
hey, pretty progressive that you guys were talking about a gay character like that.
Yeah, SpongeBob is gay. I think that every time I watch it.
Actually, it came out, so like a lot of people were upset about them calling SpongeBob gay because apparently he's asexual.
Really? I didn't even hear this debate, and I didn't know that was like a thing. Like, did they just after the fact that, like, was the show written with him as a gay sponge, or did they just decide to pin on all these extra things as we got more woke as a culture?
It came out, like, this all came out the other day because, like, Nickelodeon posted, like, here are, like, our characters supporting Pride, and it was, like, Korra from Legend of Korra, who's, like, a lesbian, and then SpongeBob, who like they didn't really explain, and then
did he ever go on any dates or anything?
Just some fucking weird offshoot Danny DeVito looking motherfucker, and everyone was like, "Who is this guy? And why is he gay?" And then
I'll tell you who he is. He's gay.
And then, dude, and then Black Twitter went off. They're like, "SpongeBob is not gay."
Yeah, how you
Like,
guys?
how are you gonna tell us SpongeBob is gay when I'm wearing SpongeBob shoes right now? He's fly. But no. So then, like, an article with Steven Hillenburg or whatever, like the creator of SpongeBob. Apparently, in like 2005, he like said that SpongeBob was asexual.
I believe that.
I believe that too, because also it's like a kid show. I feel like if you're making a show for kids, you don't really need to talk about sex that much.
Especially because SpongeBob was an adult, and like you can have crushes and stuff when the main characters are kids, like in Hey Arnold or Rugrats or something like that, where Hey Arnold's a kid and like, you know, Helga likes him, but it's like you're in 4th grade, so it's like nobody's banging each other, nobody's doing all that shit. Like it's all like very innocent, like, oh my god, I like that guy. But SpongeBob was an adult, so if they were gonna like dive into his sex life, it would have been like him, like, in order to be realistic, he would have to be like banging other dudes or something, or like going on dates with other dudes, like,
yeah,
you know,
constantly flirting with Squidward at the Krusty Krab.
Yeah,
I mean, but also, like, I honestly don't care about it at all.
I mean, I care about it a lot, actually. You just ruined my. I don't fucking care. I just feel like I really do feel like it's one of those things where like
it's one of those things that like post 2010. Every show was like, well, guess what? Guess who else is gay? Dumbledore.
Yeah. Everybody's just trying to like gain woke points by being like, hold up, go back to the archives. Did SpongeBob ever have an episode where he like went on a date with a chick?
It's like,
okay,
well,
good. He's gay now.
Yeah, he wore a tie to work every day.
Pretty gay.
Like, I guess that's gay. I don't know. A lot of people are like trying to find like gay hidden Easter eggs to be like, well, he did.
He lived in a fruit.
Yeah. Something. I don't know. I think also the joke with him being asexual is that also sponges are asexual. So, like,
okay.
Why wouldn't he be?
I would be more willing to believe that Sandy was a lesbian. Sandy Cheeks was definitely a lesbian.
She was either a lesbian or just like a tough Texas chick.
Tomboy.
Who was like, I got a fucking man back home.
Yeah, but she never talked about him.
Yeah.
She was always wrangling stuff and beating people's asses, you know?
But yeah, that was the only big thing. Okay, so yeah, SpongeBob girl.
Yes. My bad. I totally got sidetracked once I realized
dude.
SpongeBob was gay.
I know, dude. It was such a shocker.
It's like, hold up, stop everything right now. What the fuck did you just say, bro? The fuck did you just say to me? I'm wearing SpongeBob boxers right now. SpongeBob fucking pants on my dick right now, bro. The fuck out of here, bro. End the podcast. Anyway, so I get in this argument with this chick about SpongeBob, and then she just like fucking ghosts me for like a day and a half. And I told then this next episode, I told like how like she like blah, blah, blah. She wound up texting me right after that episode. I told that first story trying to hang out, and I just ghosted her. So like she texted me the night before, we like had a little conversation, and then I said like blah, blah, blah. And the next day she didn't respond. She was like, I can hang out these days. And I just didn't respond. The next day she was like, well, I don't ever want to hear that I didn't want to hang out. And I just didn't respond again. And that was the end of it. So I thought, I'm sitting at the bar with Zach and Alex. This is Thursday night. This is the graveyard night.
Okay.
Zach meets up with us, and Alex goes, yeah, Zach said he can meet up for a drink real quick, but he has a date tonight. So he's going to meet up with us before the date. And I was, all right, cool. So he meets up, and I thought it was going to be with that chick there was a chick that we met like last weekend that I was with Zach and Alex, and she DM'd me the next day and was like, who is that guy you're with? He's hot. And so like I linked him up on Instagram, and so I figured it was that girl. And so he shows up, I'm like, oh, you got a date with a girl? He's like, no, I actually have this date with this. I was like, what's her name? And he was like, it's like Sandy Marie. And I was like, oh shit, really? You're meeting up? He's like, yeah, we're supposed to meet at High Tops at like 7:30. And so we have a drink, and I tell him the whole story. And he's like, oh my God. Like, I was like, yeah, dude, I just matched with her last week. This whole thing, like I told him, it was a whole big thing on the podcast, like a whole big thing. I tell story. And he's like, oh shit. And so like he gets a call from her right at that, or text. She's like texting him during that time. And she's like, well, actually, you know, like I have to work a little late. So like maybe blah, 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 blah. Maybe we should just push back to another day. And he leaves to go meet up with her. And then he calls Alex, and Alex is like, wait, Jimmy, Zach's coming back. they're pushing the date off. They're pushing it back. And so Zach comes back. He's like, yeah, dude, she just like pushed back the time like an hour. And now she's like saying she looks like shit. Maybe we shouldn't meet up and all this other bullshit. And it's like so weird. And I'm like, yeah, dude. So then he just texts her. She tries to finally hang out at like 8:30 p.m. like 2 hours later, and we're at this point we're like had a couple drinks, we're hanging out, and he's just like, dude, I don't even feel like going anymore. Like, I'm just gonna tell her like, let's do it another time. So he texts her and he says like, hey, I kind of just ate because I didn't think this was gonna happen tonight. So like maybe we should just push back to another time. She immediately calls him. And I can hear her like bitching him over the phone. And I'm like, oh shit, this is awesome.
Also a person she's never seen in real life.
Never seen in real life. This is so vindicating for me. So he eventually was like, look, I'm with my friends. I'm hanging out here. Let's just do this another night. And she's like, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And so it's over. And so I think it's over. And he's like, yeah, I'm probably not going to hit her up again. That's like super annoying. The fact that she like tried to bitch me for not meeting up with her, even though she pushed it back and said all this shit. And he was like, the texting with her is so weird. He said this on his own accord. He was like, there's so much like the communication with her is so weird. Like, you don't know what the fuck she's saying. Like, she says she wants to hang out and then she's like doing all this bullshit, acting like she don't want to hang out. I was like, dude, exactly, bro. Exactly. So flash forward 2 nights later. I'm at the bars with Dan and Marissa. We're at the Point. I'm running into John. All the stories I told her, I'm with Alex. We decide to go to Rec Room after the Point closes. We're sitting at the tables at the Point, and or Alex texts me, or Alex doesn't text me. He's with me at the Point. At the Rec Room, and he goes, "Oh, Jimmy, Zach's coming to the Rec Room," and I was like, "Oh, dope, sweet." And he's like, "Yo, he's on a date with that chick right now," and I was like, "Dude, they're coming to the Rec Room right now?" And he was like, yeah, they're coming right now.
Oh my God.
I was like, yo, get the fuck out of here. So I was like, dude, I'm going to go get some drinks real quick. So I leave the table, and like I wind up running into some old wrestling friends. I run into some old friends that I see for a while. So we're out there. I'm talking for like 15 minutes. I get a bomb with some friends. During that time, they had met up.
I love this.
Yes. So at that point, in preparation for when they showed up, I had explained the whole story to Dan and Marissa, and I was like, look, this is the deal. This is what's about to happen. So I walk back to the table, and Zach's sitting there with Sandy. And they're at the table, and Dan and Marissa are there, and Alex is there. And I walk over, and I'm like trying to play it cool, because I'm thinking like maybe she doesn't know who I am. Maybe she doesn't know me. Maybe this story wasn't explained to her that, like, it turns out Zach, the guy she's on a date with right now, is actually really good friends with the guy who she went. So anyway, so I'm standing there having a conversation with Alex. We're smoking a cigarette. And out of nowhere, she's like, Jimmy, remember me? Jimmy, you know who this is? It's Sandy. You remember you ghosted me? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, hold on. I was like talking to her, and she was like, so what was up? Like in the middle of everything. Like we're sitting at a table, and
yes. she's in front of Zach.
In front of Zach. Doing all this shit. And I was like, look, listen, blah, 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 blah. Like, I was like, look, let's not do this here. Like, I'm out with my friends, like, blah, 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 this, that, the other thing. So eventually things kind of calm down. We're sitting down at the table. We're all talking to each other, and like, we're just having a decent time, right? So anyway, the night goes on, and we all decide to go back to my apartment. Of course, now
she wants to come over to your apartment.
Now I got Zach.
Now she wants to come over to your apartment.
I got Zach, this girl, Alex, and Dom in my apartment, and this girl is fucking blitzed out of her mind at this point, and she's going fucking ballistic, and she's like following me around, and like I'm sat on the balcony talking to Alex on the balcony. She comes out, she's like, I just can't believe you fucking ghosted me like that. Like I asked our friend about you. You said you're a wonder. He texted me back. He said Jimmy's a wonderful boy, and like I thought you were cute, and this, that, the other thing. And like she keeps on like grabbing at me. Like, dude, she literally like fucking stuck her finger in my ass. Like I was and like was like grabbing my dick and shit. Like,
checked you,
dude, literally. And I'm out there, and I'm just like, hold on, just please. This is weird because you're on a hinge date with this other dude right now, and like he's seeing this whole thing. Zach's sitting on the couch talking to my brother, and you're out here doing this. And she had brought over this other guy. It was a black guy named Dom too, and so we called him Black Dom and White Dom.
Was he another one of her like mismatched Tinder dates, or like
he hated her so much he became gay. This guy was gay. So he's like doing his own thing, and so it's us there, and she wound up like literally she got so fucking, she like threw up in my bathroom. There was like puke all over my sink and shit that she like tried to clean up. She's fucking, dude. dude. And like the whole night, she's like, "No, this is fucking bullshit. This, that, the other thing." And like, I was in the kitchen trying to talk to Alex about the grandmother situation, and she's just sitting there like, "Yeah, I get that she like fell, but I don't understand why that means like she's like dying and blah blah blah, like all this shit." And Alex was like, "All right, well, here's the thing, like this, that, the other thing." Eventually, at the end of the night, Alex fucking like called her ass out on the balcony. He was like, "Cause I was like sitting there, and
Good,
she comes."
dude.
Dude, he was like, I was sitting there talking to Alex, and she comes out, and she like literally pulls up a chair next to me, lifts up my shirt, and like puts her head like under my shirt and like on my fucking lap and stuff like that. And
What?
I'm like, and Zach is seeing this whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is fucking crazy. And Alex is like,
God.
"Hey, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you realize you're on a date with my friend, and you're doing this with my other friend, and like you're being, what happened to you?" And like he like went off on her, and she was like, blah 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 blah.
Fucking good, dude.
So
That's so funny.
She's being a complete fucking lunatic. Finally, they leave, and I wake up the next morning, and like she had texted me. She was like, "Nice meeting you last night," and I was like, "What the fuck ever?" And then
Jesus Christ, dude. So I'm guessing Zach's never gonna talk to her again, too.
well, Zach, you know how Zach's a fucking bro and a half. He fucking like he's still hooked up with her. Like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But like I was worried because I was
while
like,
they're doing it, her just complaining about you. And he's just like, "All right, where are my earpods?"
he literally said he was. I don't even want to say this on the podcast. I don't want to say it on the podcast.
All right, tell me afterwards.
Yeah,
I feel like
but
this is what we're going out on, so
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear.
It was just, it's just, it was vindicating because I had this sense about her before it all happened, before I had met in person. Marissa actually left early because she was being like such a bitch. Like Alex was like, "Do you guys mind if I smoke a cigarette?" Like while I was away, I didn't see this happen.
Mm-hmm.
We were outside on the patio, and he was like, "Mind if I step over here and smoke a cigarette?" And she was like, "Actually, kind of," like blah, 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 blah. And then that was whenever I was like, "All right, fuck this chick." And so Marissa texted me, and I just got a text, and it's just said, "Dodged a bullet." And I was like, "Yeah, I fucking know." And then like that whole night happened, and it was honestly, I'll just say this, and this is something that is kudos and a testament to Zach. Zach saw that situation for what it was from moment one. And I remember being self-conscious because I was like, how would I feel in this situation if I was literally on a date with another girl and this girl was like fucking like doing all this bullshit? Like I'd be kind of like, I would definitely be pissed off. But Zach had already checked out of that mentality. He was like, "I'm just gonna bang this girl. I don't fucking care. I'm just gonna fucking do it." And so like I was just like, the amount of coolness that he was about that was so dope, and the amount of insane that she was like it was like a gift from fucking God. Like, what are the fucking chances that I'm all sitting here a week beforehand, all pissed off, feeling like a piece of shit, and then I get the opportunity to meet this chick, and she completely fucking destroys herself in the middle of all my friends, throws it in my bathroom, all this shit, gets yelled at by your brother, and
Oh my
like,
God.
it was just, dude, it was the greatest. It was the greatest fucking thing ever. I couldn't even believe it as it was happening. I was like, this is like a dream. This is literally a dream.
Dude, that is such a good way to end the saga of Sandy Cheeks.
Saga,
Dude.
Sandy Cheeks. Oh man, we always win out in this bitch, boy. LFTS won.
At LFTS on everything, boys. At Jimmy
LFTS
Selesky.
podcast, that is.
At LFTS podcast. At Jimmy Selesky. At Eric Glazer.
Follow me on Tinder.
Follow Jimmy on Tinder. Check him out on Hinge, Bumble, JDate, Farmers Only,
Black people meet. All.
Black People Meet, Ancestry.com.
I thought you said Ancestry.com, but check me
No.
out there too.
That's a Ian Salyers joke, I believe.
Oh, okay, cool. Shouts out Ian Salyers. At Eric
Who
Glazer
he
on
just
everything.
had a birthday. So happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, Ian.
Yeah. Eric Glazer on everything. More importantly, at LFTS podcast on everything again, guys. Throw us a fucking follow across the board, subscribe, like, tweet it out. Fucking join us every Tuesday live on Facebook.
8 p.m. every Tuesday night from here on out.
Thanks for
folks.
hanging out in the live chats.
It's been
The
picking
very
up.
select few.
Yeah, select few, but it's getting better every week. It still continues to
dude.
get better. I'm very
We're-
stoked about that.
Little did I know, Jimmy was fucking in the background leeching Joe Rogan fans.
Yeah, I'm playing from every angle, bro. Every angle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every week, boys. See you next one.
Peace.